We saw this window where the temperatures were kind of unexpectedly going to drop back down into the 60s when they've been in the 80s. I didn't have as much, I thought I'd rest 3 or 4 days before going back down to go down 100%, but it was just like, no, we got to go now. Hey Boone, how's it going?
Hey.
Good to see ya.
Good to see you.
How are you?
I'm super good. How are you guys?
Good. We're just
good.
back in Tahoe, doing a little grasshopper session.
Back at home.
Adrian's
We just spent the last month in Vegas. We thought it was going to be 2 weeks. It turned into a month. It's our like 4th trip down there. I feel so close, but I haven't put it together. Like still like getting through the crux. I know I can send the slab, but getting through the crux, like power endurance moves, I'm still like not quite there.
Through the 8th bolt, right? Through the 8th bolt.
Exactly. Yeah. So
just to get to where you can stand and you're kind of like on your thumbs going, all right, KIT.
Exactly. And I've really worked a lot from that rest where you're resting on your thumbs to the top. Like I want to take that part seriously. I have it dialed. And then, you know, the bottom 5 bolts are easy for everyone. I'm just not super great at steep climbing, but I found a really good rest at the top of that fall of mouse.
Yeah. Yep.
So it really feels like that 5th bolt to 8th bolt. And I'm so close.
I don't think that bottom is trivial. I mean,
Good.
Sure, it's 5'11" or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like you get pumped on it for sure.
It takes a little bit out of you. I mean, you know, I'm probably like, I'm embarrassed to say it, but I bet I've spent like almost 40 days on the route now over the past 4 months. And I've now gone from the 5th bolt. If I hang on the 5th bolt instead of going in the rest, I've done 5th bolt to the top.
Okay. No, that's a good.
Like you said, you add the 511 pod and it's just enough juice sapping that I haven't put it together.
The way that I remember it, and it was, I think it's 1988. And we'd just gotten power drills and we had just been doing a winter pilgrimage on autumn time to the Red River or to the Red Rocks. Yeah. And bolting the gallery and the wall of confusion there, which are kind of like, they've become like classic, like entry-level sport climbs for all the grades, right? Those are fun sport climbs. And I did Fall of Man first. That
was your first one that you sent. Sick.
Yeah, I did it earlier than everything else. And I actually thought it was 13C when I did it. Based on having done a couple of 13Cs at the time.
Like, was it just the style of the time to be as run out as it was? Or were you guys too poor to buy more bolts or?
Good. So fair question. And this is before climbing gyms. This was Tuolumne Meadows and El Dorado Canyon and especially Smith Rock were kind of leading the way at that moment in time. That was the sport climbing areas. And so
they were all
those bolts were that was totally normal back then.
Yeah.
And bear in mind that we'd only had power drills for a year. And so bolts were placed only on an as needed basis. Even on rappel, nobody wanted to go up there and like hammer drill, right? So it just seemed totally normal. But you know, now people learn how to climb in climbing gyms and the bolts are a meter apart. Yep. And you know, really steep caves, you're used to bolts closer together. But if you go to Smith Rock, the Fall of Man is no different than those routes of Smith.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like it's if I were you, I would just train the power endurance and get through like the hard. You know, like I just keep hammering on longer circuits on the board and carry on doing that.
Thank you so much, Boone.
Of course.
Thank you so much for everything, all your help. And it was awesome.
Of course. Yeah. I mean,
Thank you for creating that thing.
Back in 1988.
Say what?
Thanks for bolting that route back when I was 2 years old.
We were in Tahoe and we were looking at the weather a lot, and we saw a week where it did seemingly look perfect for the VRG. Every day was like pretty cold and windy, which is what you need there. So we decided to go back down for a week and see what happens.
We saw this window where the temperatures were kind of unexpectedly going to drop back down into the 60s when they've been in the 80s. I didn't have as much, I thought I'd rest 3 or 4 days before going back down to go down 100%, but it was just like, no, we got to go now. We went on Thursday morning and it was just me and Emily. A friend, Matt Segal, came out just to hang out. And then 2 other friends, Sierra and Keller. And the day was already warm. I got out of the car and it was like 62 degrees, which is really too warm for the VRG. But there was this like wind blowing. So I went for my first try and it was probably blowing like 20 miles an hour, but it was warm so my fingers weren't numbing out, my toes weren't numbing out. And it was like the best conditions I can imagine. And I got to the rest, below the crux. I rested pretty well. Emily timed me for 6 minutes to make sure I didn't come out of the rest too soon because it's pretty uncomfortable. And then I got through the section that I've never gotten through before.
Good, Adrian. Good, Adrian. Super good, AB. Good.
Super tight. Pull, pull, pull. Tight, tight, tight. Come on, AB. Tight, Adrian. Tight. Bear down. Bear down. Come on. Bear down.
Come on, AB.
Tight, tight, tight.
Yes.
Come on, Adrian. Stay on.
Good, dude. Come on.
Big breath. It's okay.
You got it. Relax.
I was incredibly nervous. I knew he was climbing well in the crux and he was doing the moves and he was, you know, when he got through the part that he had fallen on 2 days before, I thought there was a very good chance he would just fall right away after that, because that's just how his progression has been. And then he just was yelling as he was doing the moves, and I could tell he was trying hard. And it was almost just, I just couldn't believe that he got through that crux section. And then that's when I got really, really nervous and stressed, because I knew that the top was hard. I knew that he had fallen there. I knew many people had fallen there.
got to the top, and I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I don't know what the feeling was. Like, I was crying, I was so happy, I couldn't believe I had done it. I couldn't wait to get back down to the ground to see Emily and celebrate, but I also didn't really want to leave because, like, once you go down, it's over, it's done. I don't know, I just hung up there for a few minutes and tried to appreciate, like, the 4 months process and the fact that I was ready to go home 2 days later not having sent, and instead I sent.
Fuck yeah, dude! I was so worried you were gonna blow it on the slab.
Yeah, I mean, I was just really excited after he clipped the anchor. Everyone was screaming and everyone was really psyched. And, you know, I've been through that before, sending something. And it's one of those moments that you always dream about when you're not sending, when you want to send, you're always dreaming about that moment. And so I was just really mindful of, like, we have to enjoy this because this is what we worked all season, and this is what he worked all season towards. And so we really have to enjoy this moment because they really don't come along that often, you know?
You did fall of man. You didn't just climb 8A, you climbed fucking fall of man.
Feels big.
You know how many 12s I could have done?
Yeah, but you climbed to 8A. Life fucking goal.
I think I officially. Do you think they're gonna downgrade it?
No. Yeah, because you did it.
Right? They're gonna be like, oh, that fucking hill walker did it. It's only 12B.
Oh my god, Adrian, I can't believe you did it. The creatine worked.